Hello, we're live on the air. And I'm just having, today I'm talking about Grand SEIKOs. Grand SEIKOs, remember, like, subscribe, and tell your friends. Remember, man cannot live on Google Ads alone. And I got to tell you guys, you want to keep me full-time on YouTube? You want to keep me full-time on YouTube? You need to order a paid review. Paid reviews. So just saddle up and send some. Get me to do a paid review. Actually, I made a video yesterday promoting the paid review service. I've mentioned for $35 US, we get Clive and me to discuss your collection. Come on, guys. Man can't live on Google Ads. Now, I just said to Clive, I was having a go at Clive before we started this. Clive, the beauty of this show is you can smoke on air, okay? We don't want any pretensions or illusions, okay? You're allowed to smoke on air. You can drink on air.
I was thinking about doing a pencil-thin mustache and maybe speaking in a clipped, phony accent.
Well, Clive, I want to tell you, I would be disappointed if we turn this camera on one day and you've actually got those pictures hanging on the wall.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that. I want to see them in the corner like it is with the fan going and that horrid, putrid rubber mattress in the corner there.
Luxury mattress. Luxury.
Yes. Luxury, putrid rubber. It's rancid. I think that mattress is rancid.
No, it's not. It has a cover. It's washed. Sheets are washed.
That mattress is so bad, you've got to get crime scene cleaners out to take it out. It's just putrid. Putrid. Sweat from a it's not just anyone's sweat, it's an attorney's sweat. That's the most putrid of putrid.
Well,
now that I've offended all my viewers, let's continue on. No, Clive, we really do like you here. It's I got nothing against lawyers, okay? The only thing worse than a lawyer is when you don't have one, you know, and you're in trouble with the police.
Well, the only thing worse, I mean, I've got a theory about that. Everyone hates lawyers, but they love their own personal lawyer. And I kind of think it probably has, what in God's name is in that glass?
Oh, that's it's a mochaccino. It's a mochaccino. A mochaccino. It's coffee. It's sort of my coffee espresso. Clive, let's get back on the topic. Would I seriously buy a Grand SEIKO?
Would you, or would I?
Well, both of us. Would you seriously buy a Grand SEIKO? And I've got to tell you something. I am actually falling under the spell, okay? Because let's be honest there. We love our Swiss watches. We really do love our Swiss watches. But let's be honest, SEIKO is all in-house. There's no ETA movement on this piece here. It's proudly in-house.
Oh, you mean Grand SEIKO? Okay.
Grand SEIKO. Would you buy a Grand SEIKO? We're not going to look. We're not going to buy a normal SEIKO. It's got to be a Grand SEIKO. A Grand SEIKO, of course. Of course.
It costs a grand, I guess. Okay, that's reasonable.
Yes, yes, yes. Very, 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 very good, Clive. Unfortunately, we're looking at more than a grand. But, I mean, I got to tell you, it's the attention to detail on this watch that is amazing. And I got to ask the question, would you buy it? Now, I got to tell you, see, in my collection, I actually, in my collection there, I have one brand per watch. And yes, I could buy a Grand SEIKO. Yes, 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 yes. I don't know which model yet, but I really could do it. How about yourself?
Well, here's the I have looked at them. I've heard about them before. they certainly have their proponents. But the interesting thing is, especially going around the oil patch down here in the southwestern part of the United States, I hardly ever see them advertised at all. I've seen like one or two in Dallas, and they're gone within a few hours of being put up, but very, very rarely. On the other hand, there is tons of course, Rolex being advertised every day. So the only conclusions I can draw is either number one, people aren't buying them, which I kind of doubt, or two, people aren't selling them, which actually kind of says something good about it, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's a good point there. Now, Clive, let's take a look at this. I'm gonna explore this. I'm gonna jump on. Let's jump on our favorite. Whenever we want to know what is the state of play in the marketplace, we have to jump onto Chrono 24. Okay, that's where it is, Chrono 24. So if we type in Grand SEIKO, let's have a look. We've got 184 watches have come up. Now, let's have a look here, Clive. What would you go for? What would you go for? What do you feel you'd go for? Now, the problem is with these SEIKOs is you've got to understand the terminology. Snowflake, high beat, all these different super duper things here. And, you know, the other thing is that Grand SEIKO, there's quite a few movements there. There's the high beat, there's the Snowflake, there is the quartz. They got a very highly regarded quartz piece. And having a look here, I mean, let's have a look at this one here. This is $2,000 US. This is a Grand SEIKO quartz. Look at this. This is minimalist at its best. What do you think?
It kind of looks like every other Grand SEIKO. It's pretty much the same hands, the same indices, and the same date window, except that one appears to have a metal frame around the date window.
Yes, just cover me for 1 minute, Clive.
Okay. Hey everyone on the board. It's nice to see Vinyl Counter, Megatron, Charles Lewis, Mark Pfister, respect us. And by the way, this is completely my hair. Seriously, all 100%. I don't know where you guys are getting the two. You know, I have problems. Don't get me wrong, but hair loss is not one of them. Like mom's side of the family, I get, Alzheimer's, but it does come with keeping my own hair, which is really nice. I mean, it's an upside to the benefit. I
like your hair, Clive. You've got great hair. You know that? That's real hair too. It's not transplanted hair like my hair.
Right.
Clive, I got to tell you this. The Grand SEIKO, the only problem I have with the Grand SEIKO that is a little bit, I got to work out this terminology. You know that there's so many models here. I think,
well, and it's the branding or the marketing that's the problem I have with it. I mean, because Rolex has clearly delineated lines. I mean, and they may change a little bit and they may update it, but everyone basically has the idea of what an Explorer 1 is, or what a Datejust is, or what a Submariner is, or even Milgauss. But buying a Grand SEIKO, having to go through and like 8 or 9 indicators of like letters and numbers, it makes it about as exciting as buying a dishwasher at Best Buy.
Yes. Now let's take that agony out. Let's go.
So do I want an SBGH 7000-2053, or do I want an SBGH 20,754? Yes. Yeah, it's just like, come on. I mean, the marketing people need to kind of catch up with the engineers. And now, the Swiss, I almost think it's the opposite.
Yes, they're very slick. They're very slick. But let's look at this, right? Look, I think I've just gone on to Chrono 24. Let's have a look here. Okay, these top ones, I don't know what these are. They're quite. These are sort of older. Well, they're older, 80s, 1980s. See, they're 70s. So, okay, that's not. I want a more modern. I want a more modern, usable size, right? So, if we have a look
go
at
up to year, go up to year,
okay,
and let's click 90. That one,
that one,
and that one,
and that one. There we go. That's exactly what we want. Hey, you're very clever there. Now, having a look at it this way, this is low to high. I would say myself there, I want a mechanical.
Okay.
I want high beat or spring. Now, this is the thing. I got to be honest with you.
That's the other thing I was kind of wondering about. I saw the earlier video and the reposting about the cross posting in both channels. Isn't the Snowflake a titanium watch?
It's not only titanium, it's proprietary titanium. It's a special, it's like Rolex steel. It's a special proprietary steel or titanium. It's a proprietary titanium.
Okay. Haven't you said a number of times that titanium cannot be a luxury watch?
Except when it's, except when you're buying a Grand Seiko, because the Snowflake dial. Look, you're right. You're right. I hate titanium. Okay, you're right. I like a rat that's in a corner. You're right. You're right. Let's have a look at these here, Clive. I honestly, this one actually, this one here looks.
No, go down one. Go down one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the one for you, I think.
This one here.
No, left.
Yeah.
Left. There. No, right.
Not that one.
Right.
Which one? Which one?
Second from the left. That one.
Okay. Seiko, Grand Seiko, self-data historical collection.
Right, and that's, see, a watch should reflect the personality of its owner. And if you're a self-dater, that means no one else will date you.
Ah, self-data.
Yes.
That's like when you talk about fishing, you talk about master baiters.
Exactly.
Exactly.
For a second, I thought it said. For a second, I thought it said self-hater historical collection.
Now let's look at this here. See this here. I got to tell you, I quite like it. I don't know. It comes with the bracelet as well. It's got a bracelet as well as this is $3,500. Right. Look at that. It's a historical. Right. That is actually a pretty schmicko watch. What do you think?
Yeah, it kind of almost date just-ish in a way, like smooth bezel date just. But you know,
exactly. What do you think? Look, I got to tell you honestly, I actually quite like this spring drive here. Look at this spring drive. Now this is not a Snowflake. This is where it gets confusing. They've got a spring drive, non-Snowflake. This is not the Snowflake. This is just a spring drive, right?
Right.
And it gets really confusing. Like the Snowflake is a special model, which, as you said there, is in the titanium. This here is in steel, and it just uses the spring drive, which the Snowflake uses a spring drive as well. But this is, look, 3.2 US. What's that, about $4,000? I think I could do a Seiko, a Grand Seiko. I think I could do one. I don't think I want quartz. I can tell you this now. I don't want quartz. That's one thing I can say straight up is I don't want a quartz one.
Right. Well, can't you go into?
Okay, so let's
go into
more.
Because we always want more movement.
Yes, movement. Hey, you're right there, movement. Okay, so we're going to make it. We want automatic. That's what we want. Automatic. Yep. We've got to be automatic. Now that will bring us our. Let's have a look here. What do we got? We got spring. We got now. Let's see if we got any Snowflake. There's only one Snowflake listed on Chrono. Did you know that?
No, I didn't see it.
It might have gone already. The Snowflake is yeah, I got to tell you, I could do a Grand Seiko. I tell you what style I really like. Looking at these here, this is a bit of a selection for us. I quite like these historical pieces. I got to tell you, look at this, but this is expensive, $8,500. That's for a high beat GMT. Woo!
Yeah,
You'd
and
be buying that or a Batman. I mean, it is beautiful. This Seiko is beautiful, but it's got a great look at the movement. The movement's a really top-notch movement, but $8,500 US. You know what I should do? Let's jump onto E-Lady. You know E-Lady. Let's see what
E-Lady boy.
Yeah, E-Lady, because let's see, because they're Japanese. Let's see what they have as far as Grand Seikos go, because that's the home. There's no point looking at brands which aren't, you know. Let's go straight to the source, straight to the trawler. Let's have a look here. What do we got? I'm just having a look at E-Lady boy. Geez, let's have a look. Geez, we've got some.
Pit in the search bar. Pit Grand Seiko. Maybe that'll.
Yeah.
Because if you're pulling up every Seiko in Japan, that might take a little.
There's only 14 of them. No, this is from E-Lady. E-Lady.
Okay.
Here we go. Look at this. What's this? Here we go. Look at this. Secondhand steel. This could be my kind of. It's a Grand Seiko. That's not kind of what I wanted. It just looks a bit. It looks a bit on the shitty side. What do you think, Clive? Clive, this isn't what I'm. This is not the romance. This is not the romance I wanted.
Kind of looks like the rest of them, quite frankly.
Here's a spring drive GMT.
I don't like that because, well, it's
not a spring drive. That's just a Grand Seiko automatic.
Right.
What's wrong with that? That's kind of.
The dial's a bit busy, I think.
Let's see what size bracelet it'll fit. 19. That's okay. That's not. It's a lot of money, but 2.5. That's 3,000 smackaroonies. Here's another one here. Spring drive. What do you think, Clive?
That's a little bit better. Not nearly as busy. How many millimeters is it? How big is it? It's kind of funny though, because everything else is, because of horology, everything, you know, feet, inches, miles, yards. But when it comes to watches, we're already ingrained. Okay, that's 34 millimeters. And that's 36.
39
oh my
mil.
God, I just realized about it. I just realized something about the watch industry.
What's that?
You know, it's a vast Fonzie scheme to indoctrinate Americans into the metric system. Think about it. Yeah.
The only thing I could say is, Clive, you Americans need to realize the world does not revolve around you.
Right.
Okay. I got to tell you, I could quite honestly do that. That's a nice Grand Seiko. What do you think?
Well, GMT is a nice function, but you already have. Wait a minute. So maybe you can sell the Polar Explorer and get the Seiko
Grand
GMT.
Seiko.
Really,
what do you think?
Yeah, sell the Polar Explorer and buy that. There you go.
Yes, there you go. I actually like. I kind of that E-Lady. That's not kind of the romance I wanted. That wasn't kind of the illicit affair I wanted. I really want one that looks like this. This looks beautiful, but it's $8,500.
You want the Pateki looking one, basically.
Yeah, that's right there. Maybe I might stick with Patek. Look, it's a tricky thing. Would you buy a Grand Seiko? Tell me this honestly, Clive. I want to be honest with you. Tell me honestly, would you buy a Grand Seiko? Yes or no?
Maybe. You know, if it presented itself and decent enough price. I think one of the things around here is that I don't. In my part of the woods, they're probably not as appreciated. They're not really seen as hotorology. So I actually think used, you might be able to find a bargain on one.
Yeah, they are fairly short supply. They're really well regarded in Japan. I must say that the Japanese really do. There was a stage in the world where Japan actually thought they were better than everyone else.
Yes, I know. I've heard of that too. And by the way, you're welcome.
Yes. Now I got to be honest.
On behalf of the United States Navy, you're welcome.
Clive, would you buy? I tell you honestly, okay. Yes, I can. I would. I don't think I'd get a quartz one. I think I would like. I want to add a Grand Seiko, Clive. There you go. I'm saying it now. It's official. I want to add a Grand Seiko. I want to do it.
Okay.
I want to do it. Okay.
So what are you going to flip? Now, if you're going to get a GMT, you might as well flip the Polar Explorer, which is the most saleable probably of one of your watches that you have.
Well, look, put it this way. I got to be honest with you, okay, Clive. What about the Inji? Could I sell the Inji to get a Grand Seiko?
No, probably not.
I love the Inji. You know that?
Well, and like I said, so that's why the Polar Explorer, you've had it for a while. You've had your fun. You've had your kicks on Route 66.
No, I can't sell that one. That one means too much to me. I can never sell it. Look, I got to be honest with you. I'm not a flipper anymore. I got that Polar Rolex Polar Explorer 2. Clive.
Actually, right now it's you're pinning the emphasis on the wrong syllables. Right now it's the Poor Explorer.
Now, Clive, I got to tell you truthfully, I would buy a Grand Seiko. I got no qualms about it whatsoever. I think the quality is amazing. I'm not saying I'll buy 10 of them and become a Grand Seiko fanatic. I didn't say that, but I actually will be buying a Grand Seiko. I'm not trading anything in. I'm going to start saving for one. It's a new concept you Americans never really caught on there. Have you heard of something called saving?
You're talking to the fellow that buys his watches in cash. So yes, I've heard it.
I'm thinking about. I actually think I will get a Grand Seiko. I would like to get one. I would like to add one to the. I want to attribute to all the beautiful Japanese women I've lusted after over my life. I would like to get a Grand Seiko. Okay, there you go. It's official.
So what would you?
I want a Grand Seiko.
Sort of like, what would you do for a Klondike bar? Klondike bars are like pieces of confectionery, like ice cream covered with chocolate. So
yes.
You may not have them there in Australia. But when a popular commercial is, what would you do for a Klondike bar? So what would you do for a Grand Seiko?
Anything it takes.
What about having a fundraiser and dehorning yourself live on the channel?
Clive,
quick.
I would really love to get a Grand Seiko. I would really love to do it.
If you do that, I will contribute because I will mail you one of the razor blades.
Clive. I got to be honest with you there. I want to add a Grand Seiko. There you go. I've come out of the closet. This is like admitting I love gay men. I do love gay men. And I want to also say I want to buy a Grand Seiko. Okay, it's official. I want to buy a Grand Seiko. I'm not going to buy one immediately on credit, but I actually do want a Grand Seiko. I do want one. Okay, there you go. I've said it. I want to buy a Grand Seiko, and I also want to buy a Breitling Super Ocean Heritage. There you go.
Actually, I've got a new watch on loan from Uberoki.
Yes. Now, that's the, what is that watch?
That's the Callisto. Reverse Panda. It's got a Lemania 1873 movement, which is kind of the same thing that's in your Speedmaster, except this movement actually went to the moon.
I see.
Well, not this one in the watch, obviously, but you know what I mean.
I know.
But yeah.
It's a column wheel or a Cam's chronograph.
I believe it's a column wheel, but like I said, Lemania 1873.
Okay.
All made by Breitling under license until Swatch took their toys away as a Breitling B11.
It's got what movement is it again? It's a Breitling. What movement is it? Well, sorry, Lemania. What movement?
1873. Huh. And I'm going to look real quick.
It runs at 21.6 beats per hour. That's fine. Just having a quick look at it myself there. That's I do like Lemania movements. You know that Lemania Lemania's made some of the Pateks have used Lemania. It's a cam switching chronograph. There you go. It's cams. Okay. That doesn't mean anything's wrong with an 18. That's quite a nice movement, that. Nothing wrong with that at all. It's been used by Breitling, Tag Heuer, and Eberhard. That's fine. It's closely related to the 1872.
Oh, I thought, okay. The 1873 was the one. The
1872. The 1872. That was an 1873. The 1872, which that movement is closely aligned with, was notably including the Omega Speedmaster Professional.
Right.
It's also a CAMS. That's a CAMS chronograph as well. You know that, don't you?
Yes.
Nothing wrong with a CAMS chronograph. Nothing wrong with a CAMS chronograph. Clive, that has been a fantastic show. Do you want to do another quick one? Another quick one?
Yeah, actually, there looks like there's a Snowflake in Dallas for $1,500. I'm going to have to send a response and buy it and then show it to you tomorrow night.
That's pretty amazing. $1,500 for a Snowflake.
Yeah.
Are you joking or are you serious?
I'm totally joking with you, yes.
Yes, okay. Thank you. Clive, we're going to do another show quickly. Let's discuss, would you go for a Grand Seiko Snowflake or a Grand Seiko High Beat?
Okay.
Let's do that next show. Next show in a couple of minutes.